here from iRecover Treatment Centers, and as promised, we're back at the barns with Bobby Van Eaton, iRecover Chuck Wagon driver, for a special edition of Coffee with Bobby. We're going to be asking him a few questions today. Anyone out there who has any questions, fire them on in, and we'll get Bobby to answer those ones too. You know, Bobby, I realized in the last couple of weeks of following the circuit that Chuck Wagon racing is a sun up to sundown sort of proposition. You guys don't seem to stop. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit with us.
Oh, well, thanks. Good morning, Jason. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, we go pretty steady. There's only 16 head of horses, but they're like 16 kids.
Yeah, it seems that way. How do you take your coffee, Bobby?
Oh, 1 cream, 1 sugar.
1 cream, 1 sugar. Well, I got some coffee here. We'll get you filled up.
Okay.
Here we go. And we'll get this show underway.
Right.
So, we've got a few questions I'd like to ask you, Bobby.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Lacombe, Alberta, born and raised there, yeah.
Right on. And how did you get into Chuck Wagon racing?
Well, my dad raced through the 60s and 70s, and I was pretty young then, but I listened on the radio when he was racing in Calgary. And it was always pretty exciting and stuff, so when he was racing, I was practicing my old mare turning barrels back then, but no, he was probably the one that got me started, my dad, for sure, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, your dad was a Chuck Wagon racer back in the 70s, right?
Yeah, 60s and 70s,
Yeah. That's great. And so when was your first race?
Oh, my first race, I think, was Bashaw. I've been back in 1993, but I never drove 4 horses before, and we had 4 standardbreds. We used to race standardbreds, so I hooked up 4 of them and drove 9 miles into town and started racing.
Yeah. Nice. And so, when did you join the WPCA?
That probably would have been about 95, 96. I run with them for a bit, then we had a second circuit. I run that for a bit. Then I went and run with the CPCA for a couple of years, and then I come back to I've been back and forth quite a bit on the Chuck Wagon Trail. Yeah. The CPCA raced with them all the last 3 years, and they were good guys. Everything was good there. We thought we'd come back because we'll get a chance to run Ponoka, our hometown show. So we thought we'd come back and try her again this year in the Worlds.
Good stuff. Great. Well, it's been exciting. How did you meet up with Jim Gray?
Oh, Jim's kind of been a friend of ours for him and my sister. They were knowing each other, and then we got to know him through my sister, and I've known Jim quite a few years now too. Yeah,
and how long has he been sponsoring you for?
Well, this will be going on the 4th year Jim's helped us out,
Yeah, great. Awesome. You know, I know you're a Chuck Wagon racer. Have you participated in other rodeo events as well?
Oh yeah, when I was younger I used to ride a lot of bareback horses, and a few bulls and cows and wild horse raced and stuff like that. I was always in lots of rodeo events.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. After watching, you know, I'm new to the circuit, and I was there in Grand Prairie, and from my first race watching you, I was hooked. It's a really exciting sport. Hearing the thunder of the horses, I now know why it's called the half mile of hell. Yeah. It's quite interesting. Can you explain to the new people who aren't experienced with Chuck Wagon racing a little bit about how it works, or maybe we'll start about how it began. How did Chuck Wagon racing start?
It started back in the 20s, and the guys with ranch hands and stuff, and the Chuck Wagon cooks, they would get together at night, and they'd see who would be the fastest one back to the barn or whatever, and they'd have a race back to the barn. That's kind of how it originated.
Okay, so they were out in the fields working, doing stuff, and so it's like load the gear, get it into the Chuck Wagon, and race back to town.
Yeah, first guy in there won.
Yeah, cool. Right on.
That's kind of how it originated, and then as it got more modernized, then they started putting up barrels and stuff. Had to turn them, and then they put the stove in, and it used to be tent pegs and stuff to through in. Used to take 4 guys. Now we just use 2 outriders, but at that time they took 4.
Right on. Okay, so can you explain the team setup, sort of how many horses, how many, the driver, outriders, what's going, how many of each?
Yeah, we've got 4 horses on the chuck wagon.
Yeah.
2 in the front, they're called the lead horses. Right lead and a left lead. Your right lead, you want him to be a real sharp turner. Your left leader, he's got to come around harder, but he don't have to, he makes a wider swing. He don't have to turn as sharp.
Yeah.
Your wheelers, you want them to really, when the horn blows, you want them to really start hard. That's your back to. Start hard and get everything going. Get your wagon, the momentum going from your wagon. And that gives your leaders a chance to get their speed up. Then you can get going and make your nice fast turn.
Yeah.
As you turn the barrels, then you want to make a nice smooth turn coming to the bottom. Get in your lane and head out around the racetrack.
Yeah.
And there's 3 other guys thinking the same thing.
Yeah. You got how many horses out there when you got all 4 wagons, right?
Yeah, so we'd have 24 horses.
24 horses,
Yeah.
4 wagons going like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody trying to get the finish line first.
Of course. Yeah. And so initially, like I saw the fellas, and they're putting in a barrel in the back last night, and in the other races. Originally, that would have been a cast iron stove.
Yeah.
Wow,
I think
pot
it
belly.
weighed, originally I think when they first started racing, it had a big box, and they called it the stove, but it weighed, I think, it was 75 pounds. Now, in our modern days, the stove probably only weighs rubber, so for protection of the horses and stuff, so if a horse hits it, it's not going to hurt them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably only weighs maybe 10 pounds now.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's still a crucial fact in the race, because if the man don't get the stove in the stove rack, you get 2 seconds penalties because he never loaded it. And if he has it off the ground before he loads it, gets another second penalty. So it all works in on the penalty side.
Okay. All right. So we've got a question out there, and they're wondering about what team of horses is your best team of horses? Or do you have a best team of horses?
Well, the ones I've been using, I've been training them for the last 3 years. We had some misfortune and lost one of them off that outfit last fall. But we got a new one here this spring, and by God, he's filling the spot. And I'd say them 4 that I've been using quite a bit, they're probably my best ones.
Yeah.
But we're working on 2 more outfits right now too, and that second one's coming nice. They'll probably come out tomorrow night off the 2 barrel.
Okay, so we'll be looking for some fresh horses tomorrow night when we're watching.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool, awesome. You know, there seems to be so many variables in this race, from the track conditions, the horse, the outriders. You know, this race isn't just about who gets to the finish line first, right?
No. There's lots of penalties involved. You hit a barrel, that's a 5-second right there, and you can't outrun that 5 seconds. So if you hit the barrel, you're going to probably lose the race.
Yeah, and that's those starting barrels where you guys are positioned.
You got to turn.
Yeah.
They're made out of plastic. They're collapsible for the safety of the horse again. So used to be at one time they were 45-gallon gas drunk.
Oh.
You hit them, you know what's going to happen. Your wagon's going up in the air.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of more safety precautions into the sport now than there was, I guess, originally.
The protection of the horse now is the biggest thing. Like, you ain't got the horse, you ain't got nothing. So you really try to look after that.
Yeah.
Like the stove racks now, the stove rack here is up 19 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
Before it used to hang out right out the back.
Oh.
Right out the back,
okay.
it hung back there and it swung back there.
Yeah.
And when you come to the bottom barrel, it would swing, and then lots of times the wagon, over she'd go because of the momentum.
Of course. Yeah. So, can you talk a little bit about the outriders? Now, I know they need to be within a certain distance of you during the race. What's going on there?
Well, he's got the lead horse, man. He's a crucial man. You come in and I'll try to roll the horses up the best I can. He'll grab them. He'll stop them, and then he'll hold them there. The stove man will grab the stove, get the stove out, get it set on the ground. And as the horn blows, he'll throw it in. The lead horse man, he'll let go of my horses and he'll run to the top. And as I'm turning, they're both getting on. And then they got to try to be within 150 feet of me when we're coming across the finish line.
Okay. And is that 150 feet of the first horse or the back of the wagon?
The first horse.
The first horse. Okay. So they got to have their stuff together and keep on with it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's two lines the judges go by. They go by when the chuck wagon hits that line, then they got an outrider line, and the outrider's got to be on that line too.
Okay.
That's what they watch for. When I hit the finish line, they got to be over that line or right at it.
Yes.
Or we're going to get a late penalty.
And what's the penalty if they're late? If
1
they're not...
1 second.
1 second. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot when you're talking about chuck wagon racing.
100ths of seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
That can mean first to 21st.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking about those variables, I was noticing, they wet down the track and stuff like that. Do you prefer a wet track or a dry track? Are there differences?
Oh yeah, you like to get a nice dry track if you can, because it's the more water, it's just like when it's raining, pulling in the mud. It's tough to pull through.
Yeah. So it's a slower track. You're getting slower times.
Yeah.
Right on. So we just got another question in from all the fans out there. What is your favorite track to race at?
Oh, Ponoka, because it's all our friends and families there and stuff. And that's our local show, and that's probably one of our better ones.
Ah, great. Yeah. It's nice being in front of the hometown crowd, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Right on. So, we were talking a little bit about the horses. What do you look for in a chuck wagon horse?
Well, they got to be good and stout and strong and stuff. It's not always about how big they are, as long as they got a good big heart.
Yeah.
Like some of the smaller horses, as long as they're good turners and fast runners and don't quit, got a strong heart. That's kind of what we look for. Is stuff that don't want to quit. They want
It's
to
that spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually most of the tougher ones that get broke, they usually turn out to be the best ones once we're going.
Yeah, the ones with a bit of attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darn near everyone that's good. He's got an attitude.
Yeah. It's a handful.
Yeah.
So, okay, onto the wagon maybe. Are there specific dimensions and weights and things that this wagon needs to be?
Yeah, that wagon with me in it is got to weigh 1,325 pounds.
Okay.
Like me, this spring I was light, so I had to add some weight in it to bring my weight up.
Okay.
So that makes a playing field for everybody then, if the wagon's all the same weight.
Yeah, okay, of course. And is this a homemade, is there an individual that makes this wagon for you?
Yeah, there's a guy just down the road here at Bigger, Saskatchewan. He makes all the running gear, the wheels and the undercarriages and all that. He puts that all together. Yeah. And then my brother-in-law, he made the box for me. He's a finished carpenter, and he did a nice job.
Great.
Yeah, he made a good job on that box. He's probably made half a dozen for me now.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And how long would this wagon last you, do you think?
Well, if we don't get too many mix-ups, it should last, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. The running gear probably you could probably get 10 years out of it, 10, 12 years. Yeah. As long as you look after it, they'll last a long time. Same with the wagon. You put it in at night, or put it in the winter and look after it. Keep it dry, they'll last a long time.
Yeah. And so, on the circuit, how many teams, I got another question from the fans out there, and they're wondering how many teams race each night and how many races they're having.
Well, we've been running here 36 wagons every night, 4 wagons to a heat, 9 heats a night. So we'll do that for 4 nights here. And then we'll leave Monday and we head to Medicine Hat and we'll do it all over again. There, it's a smaller racetrack, so it'll be 12 heats, and there'll only be 3 wagons to a race there. Because the racetrack's not enough width to have the 4 wagons there.
Okay, great. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to go back to the wagon again. I noticed the awesome colors on there. Who's painting that for you?
That was my sister and brother-in-law. Yeah.
Okay.
They thought of that. We used to be a stripe from, it was corner to corner. Purple on one side, white on the other. They switched it up this year, and I like it.
Yeah, it's looking great. It's looking sharp. You can see it from a distance. It really stands out. Yeah. Yeah, and so then with the tarp, I know Jim Gray is the sponsor, and we got the I Recover Treatment Center's logo on there. And so that's done by auction, is that correct?
At some places they have a tarp auction, like Grand Prairie and Ponoka. And then the rest of the time you just, me and Jim, we just cut a deal for the summer.
Yeah.
And I run it's nice to have one sponsor. You never have to change the tarp, and it's worked so good.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. No, Jim's been really good to us, helping us out.
Yeah. So I got another question out there from some of the fans. They're asking any particular drivers out there that you want to beat? Any grudges out there?
all the other 35. I want to beat them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Course,
They're good guys, but when you go out there, there's not many friends left. You go out to win.
Yeah, it's time to race.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, there seems to be a great sense of community, though.
Oh yeah.
It seems like everybody's really, when I'm out there, it seems really great.
Me and Jason, we were kind of short of help here this show, so he sends a couple of his guys over to help me. I go help him, and we're hooking in the mornings. We help each other and stuff. But no, you gotta be like that. You gotta help each other out.
Yeah. I've been behind the scenes and talking to a lot of the community people, Bobby, and every time I bring up your name, they say the same thing, that Bobby Van Eaton is a true cowboy, and there's not a lot of those left. You know what I mean? And it seems to be people have a great sense of respect and for you and for what you do and the way you hold yourself. It's been awesome, to be able to watch your races and stuff. I just got another question here from another fan, and they want to know if you have any hobbies outside of chuck wagon racing.
Well, I like to watch my grandsons play hockey and bull ride, and my granddaughters and stuff do different events and stuff. And I guess with other stuff, we like to fish. We do quite a bit of fishing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what's your favorite fishing hole, or what's your favorite fish to eat?
Well, Buffalo Lake, we fished there the last 3-4 years and had pretty good, but probably not the best fish to eat. They're jacks, and we make them work.
Yeah. I love doing some fishing myself. I go up to Rice Lake a lot, go for pickerel and all that stuff.
That'd be way better than jacks, but we make them work. We smoke them and stuff. They turn out pretty good.
Oh, good. That's awesome. Well, I really want to say what a pleasure it is to be able to take this time with you and chat with you a bit, and we really appreciate you sharing the information with the fans out there. There's a lot of people interested in what you're doing and want to keep following you, so we're going to do some more of this hopefully as the weeks go on, and I can steal a bit of time with you. I want to thank you on behalf of I Recover Treatment Centers, and it's been awesome to watch you, and give her hell tonight.
I'd like to thank Jim and I Recover, and you boys for all the stuff you've been doing too, and thank you to the fans for paying attention and watching and having some fun.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Yeah.